Hey gardening friends, ready to grow healthier plants, bigger harvests, and smarter gardens? Let's get started.
Did you know that just one single cucumber left too long on the vine can actually shut down your entire plant for good? One cucumber, and the whole thing quits on you. Welcome to The Smart Gardener. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Now here is the thing about cucumbers. They are one of the easiest plants you will ever put in the ground. But getting a real harvest out of them, that is a completely different story. And today I am going to walk you through 6 mistakes that are quietly destroying your cucumber crop and exactly how to fix every single one. That last one, number 6, is something almost nobody ever talks about, but it just might be the biggest game changer of them all. So stick with me. Mistake number 1. And I am putting this first because it is the one that ruins more cucumbers than anything else. You are not watering consistently. A big soak on Monday, nothing until Thursday, a quick splash on Saturday, and then gone all weekend. Your cucumber plant feels every single one of those swings. And here is why that matters so much. A cucumber is roughly 95% water. So when the soil keeps bouncing back and forth between soaking wet and bone dry, that plant panics. It floods its own fruit with a bitter compound called cucurbitacin, which is basically its way of fighting back against stress. That is where the bitterness comes from. And it gets worse because the plant actually needs more water once it starts setting fruit, closer to 2 inches a week instead of just 1. So here is what you do. Water them slow and deep, ideally before 8 inches the morning, using a soaker hose or a drip line. Stick your finger into the soil, and if it is dry more than 3 inches down, you are already behind. Then lay down 3 to 4 inches of mulch over the root zone to hold that moisture steady. And if you do end up with a bitter one, peel it and cut a good inch off the stem end because that is where the bitterness hides. Now, mistake number 2 ties right into this, and it is one most people never even think about. You are letting your cucumbers crawl across the dirt. And I get it. That is exactly what they want to do. But every vine growing flat on the ground is quietly working against you for 3 reasons. First, the leaves sit in damp shade and never dry out, which is exactly what mildew needs to take hold. Second, the fruit is lying right there in the wet soil, so it curls, gets soft spots, and rots before you ever pick it. And third, the cucumbers you cannot see hiding under all that foliage, those are the ones that get big and yellow and full of seeds. And once that happens, just one overgrown fruit sends a signal to the whole plant that says our job here is done, and the vine shuts down completely. So get them up off the ground. A simple trellis, 5 to 6 feet tall, changes everything. You can fit 2 to 3 times as many plants in the same space. The air flows through so disease drops way down. And you harvest standing up where you can actually see every single cucumber on the vine. Just make sure you set the trellis up before you plant so you do not disturb the roots later, and add a little extra mulch underneath, because without that leaf canopy shading the soil, moisture evaporates faster. Mistake number 3 really stings, because it usually hits the gardeners who are trying the hardest. Big, beautiful dark green vines everywhere, and almost no cucumbers. So you figure the plant must be hungry, and you feed it more. And what you just did is pour gasoline on the fire. Here is what is going on. Every fertilizer bag has 3 numbers. The first is nitrogen for leaves. The second is phosphorus for roots and flowers. The third is potassium for fruit and plant strength. When you keep feeding a struggling cucumber high nitrogen, you are yelling more leaves and wondering why there is no fruit. So when the plant is young, a balanced the 10th of October, 2010 works fine. But the moment flowers show up, usually around day 30 to 35, switch to a 10th of May, 2010, where those last 2 numbers are higher. You are changing the message from grow bigger to make me some cucumbers. For organic options, finished compost, bone meal, and wood ash do the job beautifully. Apply about 4 to 6 inches from the base and water right after. And if those bottom leaves are turning yellow, that is the one time the plant really is asking for nitrogen. Read the plant. not the calendar. Mistake number 4 is a heartbreaker, because everything looks perfect. Bright yellow flowers everywhere, and you are thinking, here come the cucumbers. But almost none of them turn into fruit. Here is why. A cucumber plant makes male and female flowers on the same vine, and only the females become cucumbers. You can tell them apart easily. The female has a tiny baby cucumber sitting behind the bloom before it even opens. The male is just a flower on a skinny stem. When the plant first blooms, those early flowers are almost all male, and that is completely normal. The females follow about 10 to 14 days later. But each flower only opens for one single day, just a few hours in the morning, and if no bee visits during that window, the chance is gone. Above 90 degrees, bees slow way down, and above 95, the pollen itself can fail. So plant zinnias, marigolds, and herbs like dill next to your cucumbers to draw bees in. Set a shallow dish of water nearby so they stick around. Never spray anything in the morning when bees are working. And if nothing is setting, grab a paintbrush, pick up pollen from a male flower, and dab it into an open female. 10 seconds, done. Mistake number 5 is the one that ends more cucumber patches than anything else, and it usually strikes right when things are finally going well. You spot a little yellow beetle, maybe striped, maybe spotted, and figure it is just chewing a few holes. But those beetles carry a bacteria called Erwinia trachyphylla in their gut, and they spread it plant to plant as they feed. Once it gets inside your vine, it clogs the plumbing so water cannot move, and the whole plant wilts and dies. There is no cure. That plant is finished. The bacteria only survives the winter inside the beetle itself, not in the soil, not in the seeds. So the whole game is keeping beetles off your plants while they are young, especially before the 5th true leaf. Use a lightweight row cover early on, pull it off when flowers open so bees can get in, and pick beetles off by hand. If a vine is wilting and you are not sure why, cut a stem near the base, press the two ends together, then slowly pull apart. Sticky strands between the cuts means bacterial wilt. Then there are the mildews. Powdery mildew is that white dusty coating you can wipe off with your finger. Downy mildew shows up as angular yellow patches on top, with grayish fuzz underneath. A diluted baking soda spray or milk and water mix every 7 to 10 days helps keep both in check. When buying seed, look for the letters PM, DM, or CMV on the package. That means built-in resistance. And clean up all debris at the end of the season. Do not plant cucurbits in the same spot for at least 2 to 3 years. Now here is the bonus, mistake number 6. The one almost nobody talks about. You are not pruning your cucumber vines. At every leaf joint, the plant sends out a side shoot called a sucker. Leave them all, and they compete with the main vine for water and nutrients, giving you smaller fruit and fewer of them. But here is the interesting part. The main stem produces more male flowers, while the second and third generation side branches produce far more female flowers, which means more actual cucumbers. So let the main stem grow about 6 pairs of leaves, then pinch the top off. That pushes energy into the side branches where the female flowers are waiting. Remove all leaves in the first 12 inches from the base to open up airflow, and check leaf joints weekly to pinch off small suckers before they steal resources. And one free tip, if you pull off a large sucker, stick it in water. It will root in a few days and you have got yourself a whole new plant without spending a dime. So there it is. 6 mistakes, 6 fixes. Water them steady so they never panic and turn bitter. Get them up off the ground so they can breathe. Feed them for fruit, not leaves, the moment those flowers show up. Give the bees what they need so those blooms actually set. Stay ahead of the beetles and the mildew before they ever get a foothold. And prune those vines so every bit of energy goes straight into making cucumbers. You do not have to nail all 6 of them perfectly. I sure do not. You just have to get them mostly right, and that sad little trickle turns into a flood. One more tip before you go. Start a few fresh seeds every 2 to 3 weeks through the season. That way, when your first planting fades, the next one is already coming up behind it, and the harvest never stops. And when you do pick, check those vines every day or two. Use a sharp pair of scissors, leave a little stem attached, and grab them at about 6 to 8 inches for slicers. A plant that gets picked is a plant that keeps producing. Now, if this helped you today, hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and tap the notification bell so the next one finds you. Drop me a comment and tell me which of these 6 you are going to fix first. And while you are at it, what variety are you growing this year? I read every single comment, and I will do my best to answer you back. Take care of yourselves. Take good care of those gardens, and I will see you in the next one.